So one of the main things that I really don't like about Delaware, personally, is just how it affects my mood, the weather. And right now outdoors it is snowing, and it's like raining off and on, and then giant snowflakes coming down, which is kind of cool. Sometimes it's cool when it snows. I kind of like it sometimes a little bit, but for the most part I don't. I really like sunny weather, hot weather. And when it's just gloomy for days, it's been cloudy for like days, like 5 days in a row, it really affects my mood, I've noticed over the years. So I just, I'm not a fan of that. It's not fun. It's not fun at all. And it's just completely different than California, where I lived the past 12 years. Like, it would be cold and rainy for a few, like 1 or 2 months, like January, February, maybe March, April in California, but it never really snowed where I lived in Northern California. I could drive somewhere where it did snow, but I could always come back home and then there wouldn't be any snow, which is really nice. But just the way that it affects my mood here, this weather, and just the vibe of Delaware. It's like the vibe, there's something about Delaware coming back here. It's just like the way things are built here. It's not as beautiful. Everything's just more gray. Kind of the nature as well. Like the trees, it's just like very similar type of trees. The landscape's very flat. To me, it's just, I think as a painter and as an artist, it's not as interesting as, obviously, as California, when you have like the ocean, you have the coast, you have giant cities, you have mountains and lakes and all this cool stuff within like 2 hours. I could drive to San Francisco. I could be in Sacramento. I could be in Lake Tahoe, in the mountains. There's like all these different places I could go. And then coming to Delaware, it's all just like flat farmland, pine trees, these other kind of trees that are just boring, kind of boring. I mean, in winter right now, it's actually pretty interesting with there's no leaves on the trees. I know I'm going to miss that later on. Being in like Malaysia, living in the tropics and stuff. Right now it's kind of interesting, but it gets old after a while because everything's just gray and brown and drab and bleh. It just really affects my mood. And just the vibe of the whole place, like I said, it's just not as epic. It doesn't have an epic vibe, you know? And the other thing that's kind of a bummer is like where I'm living right now in this town, it's like surrounded by farmland. And we're just in this little development, this little neighborhood, and there's really nowhere to walk. There's nothing to walk to or to go see. You have to like drive everywhere. When I was in California, it was kind of similar, but at least it was a little bit more walkable. There was big sidewalks everywhere. But here it's like the main road is right out there. It's like a highway, and that's it. There's nowhere to like walk except for around the neighborhood, which isn't even that great, to be honest. There's no sidewalks in the neighborhood, so it's not even that great to really walk in the neighborhood. So there's just kind of this lack of, and plus it's winter, so like I don't want to go out anyway, really, but there's just this lack of exposure to nature, lack of being able to walk somewhere like I did in California. And also, I think part of the problem is that I used to live here before when I was a teenager, from like 15 till I was 23 for like 8 years. I think that kind of, I'm projecting some of that onto this place because I see everything. It's almost like coming back to that part of my life that was kind of not an epic part of my life. It's kind of the most difficult part of my life, I'd probably say. Is like after Hurricane Katrina happened, I lost all my stuff, and then I was forced to move to Delaware because I didn't have a house, so I had to move here to live with my mom. That was the first time in my life I ever had to move and change schools and make new friends and all this stuff, and it didn't really happen for many years that I really felt like I fit in or that I belonged here. It took me a while to overcome all that, and I was depressed for a while. And I think part of that is probably me seeing Delaware through that lens. There are times I do like Delaware, where it's sunny outside. If you go drive through the back roads where it's like Amish country and all the beautiful farmland and stuff and the cool horse and buggies and old farms, and there's a lot of cool stuff that I would love to paint if it was warmer and there was actually a place that I could go to paint. But I think being back, having those memories, being back here now, it just reminds me of all that time, and it's just not that great, not that fun. Even though I'm a completely different person now, I do see things a little bit differently. I recently went with my mom to the coast. We checked out a few different beaches and that I've never been to. I've lived here for so many years, years ago, and I've never been to any of those places. So it's kind of been a cool adventure, seeing things from a different perspective and from a more artistic perspective now that I have. And seeing the beauty, there is beauty here, it's just different. But I think part of it is just not wanting to stay where we're from, kind of, or where we lived for a while. I think I've heard that from so many people, like they could live in the most awesome, epic place, but if they grew up there and they live there, it's like they just want to leave. You know, I think we all have that, know people like that or feel that way ourselves, like, oh, I don't want to, that place sucks, all the people there suck, or this thing sucks, and we just want to move somewhere else, somewhere new, somewhere different. And I think that's maybe what I'm feeling here when I'm in Delaware. It's like, it just kind of, it's kind of boring. It's kind of, I came here at a bad time in my life. I have all these memories and I just want to, it's like the grass is always greener, right? I just want to go somewhere else. Because I will say they've built up a lot of stuff around here. It's way different than it used to be. There are some new things, there's new roads, there's all kinds of stuff going on. So they are like improving the whole area and it is getting better. But for me, I still see it as kind of like, not that epic for me. But yeah, I think that's kind of the main reason probably. And just the weather. I'm not a fan of cold weather no matter what state I lived in, wherever I live. Even in California, I didn't like the cold weather. So it's kind of not a Delaware specific thing, although the snow is, even though it's like kind of snowing outside right now. I really don't like that. And it's going to snow all night and all tomorrow. And we're going to get several inches of snow. And I'm really not looking forward to this. And there's like a big blizzard alert happening right now, so that's great. That's wonderful. That's awesome. I love that. I am looking forward, hopefully. The only upside to that is that hopefully I can look out the window and do a painting sketch of some of the snow around here. That's the only thing I'm kind of looking forward to because it's so different. Something I haven't painted a lot of from life. So that's really the only upside to it. Other than that, it sucks. It's not fun. I don't like snow. I don't know how people like snow or what people like snow. It's crazy. It's just not for me. But I think that's why Delaware feels kind of depressing to me and not as fun to live in. It's just those past memories of being here and the weather and just having that grass is greener. You know, everything's familiar already, so it's kind of boring. I think that's probably the main reason. I think we all feel this way about places that we live, right? So what to do? I'll enjoy it while I can. I'll find the bright side to all of it anyway. You know, even it's one of those things, right? You just have to adapt and just find the bright side. Otherwise, you're just going to suffer the whole time. And I'm still going to complain about it a little bit, but oh, the snow is really coming down now. Oh my gosh, I can see it out the window right here. It's just wow. Let me see if the GoPro will pick this up. Show you guys this. Look at this. Oh, not really. Can't really see it, but it is. I don't know if you can really see it, but there are tons of snowflakes coming down. Yes, I don't know if you can see that. I'll put some B-roll in over it right now, but do you guys like where you live in your town? Do you have this feeling of like the grass is greener somewhere else? Have you experienced this? Let me know down below. I'd love to hear from you. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care of yourself. Peace.